if the township, if it all falls into the township's comprehensive plan and they're in favor of it, and it's in our comprehensive plan, and we approve that other piece, and then a city, whether it's Frankfurt or another city, comes in and says, well, you know what, we're gonna change our rules and we're gonna go against everybody else, it doesn't seem right. See, to me, I'm just listening to this, it sounds like crazy, you know, so the next, I get up tomorrow morning and I say, everybody was doing one thing, but I'm gonna be the only one saying, well, I guess I shouldn't do that. I'm the only one saying no a lot. But the whole point is that Frankfurt shouldn't be able to go against all the other people's comprehensive plans. I would think they have to find a way to make them all jive. And if they're gonna go in, it's a mile and a quarter, is that what you said?
It's a mile and a quarter.
So they have up to a mile and a half. And so it's not even in their city. And then they're gonna tell us that we can't obey our comprehensive plan and tell the township that, hey, you know what, you don't count, the city counts. And it kind of bothers me because we're supposed to represent the unincorporated as well as the cities. So to me, I think that we just gotta not table it, or I didn't even know it was gonna be tabled, but he said that, but we shouldn't be tabling it, we should vote on it and just allow it.
That's good. Thank you. Or Joe?
So first, the first zoning statement had 5 maps, and then I had this as industrial, and then they changed it. I'm not really keen, the general rule to change agricultural to industrial. However, when we talked about this today, I think start sooner rather than later on possibly creating another category, zoning category, and that might be a better fit for this. I appreciate all the information. I'm going to make a motion. I'm not going to do it now because I want to hear everybody wants to talk, but I'm going to make a motion to table it just so that we do have another month. We can allow Frankfurt to file their legal objection, as is the right, and we can kind of move forward. Maybe there's a better category we can create that this would fit into, but I personally am not comfortable making it I-1, especially since it is for sale or for lease. It could be something completely different before we launch. So, thank you.
Thank you, Landry.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with looking at, maybe another an I-1 or I-2. I don't have a problem with that. That probably could work. But in this case, they applied for something, and everything was okay. And then out of clear blue sky, the city says no, and it's a mile and a quarter away from the city. And then, so the township's supposed to go stick their head in a bucket and just forget it? They don't count no more? And we don't count anymore? With our plan, it meets our plans, it meets the township plans, and it met City of Frankfurt, and then all of a sudden they changed it, and now they don't want it, but when they applied, it met the plan. So now, this guy that owns the property, whoever the heck he is, I don't even know, I should say person, because it might be a woman.
Michelle's Tracy standing right there.
Oh, okay, it's a guy and his wife, right? Okay, well, the couple that own the property, they're going to be out a whole bunch of money if they got do we want to stick it up their butts because all of a sudden one city changes their plan from what it was when they applied, and it still meets our plan and it meets the township plans? I mean, I don't like that. To me, that's like totally wrong. If Frankfurt were to have their rules intact when this guy applied, and say, hey, you got to follow Frankfurt's rules, I'll go along with it. But that wasn't the case. This guy applied before when it was legal to do whatever. It doesn't make sense to me. And I do like what you said, Rachel, about looking at some other designations. But in this case, this has been applied for when it was legal. So now we're going to go back and start saying, well, you know what? Whatever it was can change by the day. This is what happens if Frankfurt decides not to pass their thing next month when they have their meeting. What if they decide to make it more strict?
But see, that's always the risk.
Mr. Grisman?
In regards to the fact that you could go ahead and make a new zoning district if you wanted to, but this applicant would not be bound by it. He could, because he's applying now, and he's the ordinances that are applicable nowadays, because now that's what he's bound by. He can voluntarily seek the admission to the new zoning district, but that's their role. So that's just one thing I wanted to say. I think that point we should also have in regards. And I think Brian brought up a good point as well. that 6 months from the date of the public hearing, which was at PZC, right, that public hearing last week, if there's no action taken on it, his request at that point in time, it's automatically approved. So I want to make sure, and that's the reason I'm bringing that up is what David's comments he made earlier. This isn't going to be a timely process.
I got a question. Could we be sued by the applicant because of, if we deny it, we lose money, or we deny it, and then,
Even if he did lose money, we could be
I
sued.
mean, anybody can sue for anything, I get that.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, if he went to court, I'd lay odds that he'd win.
I'm not going to comment on that. But we
Well, I'm just saying, you know, if I was a judge, forget about it. I'd go with him.
I'm happy to go along with my fellow board member and table it for a month, but I will say I'm in favor of the applicant getting the zoning that they're requesting. There's been nothing said today, and I doubt that the Frankfurt passing of the plan is going to change my mind, because I'm not going to the Frankfurt meeting. I live in Bolingbrook. I represent the 4th District. But his business has totally been legal, legit, following, you know, all of our processes. And now we're going to just decide because the town, you know, put something in place, unless I'm missing something. And maybe I'm missing something. But if, you know, they've been following the zoning rules that are all along, and I-1 is down the street, and I just don't see it makes any sense to tear down a building that they just put fire sprinklers in, and turn it into a cornfield. That horse left the barn a long time ago. This building didn't pop up yesterday. We've approved it. It's there. So again, unless some new information comes to light, I'm going to be in support of the applicant. But I'll support your motion to wait a month. I don't care.
I'd make a motion.
Hold on, David, we have a lawyer.
I'll make a motion to
Okay,
approve.
there's a motion, but David, lawyer, then we're gonna go Tom, so David, or not David, sorry.
Okay. It's actually 6 months. It's not automatically approved. It's automatic.
It's not, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Tom?
I have a question for Brian. As far as industrial zoning, we have two categories, only I-1 and I-2.
So we have three categories, Board Member Weigel. We have I-1, I-2, I-3. I-1 is the least intensive zoning district, and as you move to I-3, it's more intensive.
Okay, so they're not going to put a warehouse up there? Would the...
You can put a warehouse in I-1. That's a permitted use.
That is okay?
Yeah, there's a list, the county board has determined a list of permitted uses by right that would require review for zoning compliance with ordinance standards, including engineering standards and building standards. And then there's also a list of special uses that would be permitted in I-1, which would come before this committee and the county board.
But it is the least intensive.
I-1 is the least intensive zoning district.
So I don't think we need to create another category. We got three categories already.
Where goes next?
So I guess what I'm advocating for is an I-4 that would be more restrictive or least submissive than the current I-1 for cases like this. And I think that it's not that they haven't done anything wrong, it's now that they're trying to sell the property, release the property. So at the end of the day, really, to Steve's point, to Jack's point, is they did know that this was the condition when they asked for the special use, that it could end up in. It's a gamble, right? If you know you've got an agricultural building, or agricultural land, and you put a building up, it is a gamble. Now, maybe you don't always put another business like that in there. So to say that we're gonna get sued, no, we haven't done anything wrong either. We really haven't. This was they came to us and asked for the special use. They put the building up as a special use. They always knew that that was a possibility, that it wouldn't always be the case, and if it's in agriculture and it hasn't changed the zoning, then that would be what it would have to revert back to. So I do think it's a complicated case, and I think there's solutions here. But I think the fear, I am an advocate of protecting our farmland. That is something that we need to do in this county. And if we just continue to allow everything to change to I-1 in the state of progress, then we really have not been very, we haven't looked at the forethought of where is our food going to come from in the future. How about our water? We have constant problems with drainage in our areas that are built up because the forethought is not there. So I do want to be prudent in that, and I've said that from day one when I got on this board that is something that we should continue to look at. This is no different. This is a highly agriculture area. Yes, there's two parcels up the road in a little ways that are industrial, and this one is in this mixed category. So I do think it's wise for us, sooner than later, to start the process of creating an I-4, so people who are in these situations are not put out, that we have a compromise here, and that the areas that are protecting their farmland can continue to do so, and not to say, oh, well, now there's another I-1, so the rest of LaGrange should just become I-1, because that is the reality of what happens. You got 2 on there now, you got 3, we'll see a case in a year from now, 4th and 5th. So let's have some forethought here, and how we work with the applicant, but also protect what is important to the county.
Thank you, Rachel. I'm getting all the names messed up today, Jackie.
And I appreciate your point of view, Rachel, and I am too very much in favor of protecting farmland. And, you know, I didn't really understand that this was like a special use that we could actually remove, although this came up this morning in our legislative committee. But at the end of the day, there's already a warehouse on it. That's what I see when I look at it, a warehouse. They could grow cannabis in there. They could grow plants of any kind, they could house chickens in there, and it would still be agricultural, and it would look the same. I mean, so, they're using it, it looks to be, you know, for landscaping at this point. Those are things that go, we don't eat landscaping, but certainly we produce a lot of it in this country. We've turned all of the desert of Arizona into a damn sod farm. I don't want to see this property lose value or the owner lose value. If in fact this is true, that we issue a special use permit to people with the understanding, and I question whether or not they understand, that we're going to force them to turn it back into a cornfield, I think that's just a stupid policy. And shame on us. Because if people are investing money in a building, that's an improvement to real estate, and it goes with the land. I mean, it becomes a value of the land. I mean, is somebody gonna rezone my house? You know, I mean, again, I understand this is a special use permit case, but maybe we shouldn't have special use permit cases where we're allowing somebody to invest this kind of money on real estate that they own, which then this building becomes a part of the value of that land, of their investment.
I agree.
But I don't see us making, you know, I don't see us using this as a case to revert it back to the cornfield. I'm sorry, I just can't.
And I'm not advocating for that. I mean, I think that you just gave some perfect examples of ideas of what it could be used for in agriculture.
So there are other solutions here
Right.
besides just rezoning it. I'd like to explore some of those solutions.
Okay.
Well, we're also costing this man money every day that we wait. He's got a real estate agent, they possibly have some potential buyers, and they can't complete that deal. Those buyers are out looking for a different piece of land every day that we sit on this case. And that means the owner could potentially lose his only buyer. And you know, I'm a new real estate agent, so I do understand how these things work.
Well, we have to take everyone in.
We're gonna let Mr.
We do, but-
Brown come on up to the
The
podium.
horse is out of the barn.
After Mr. Brown, we're on.
I just had a couple quick points. One clarification. First and foremost, our previous comprehensive plan, prior to the one that was recently adopted in December, also did not support industrial development in that area. So while it does change, it did say transitional uses, which were less intense uses than industrial. Certainly did not encourage in the area either. And can I clarify something? Just a question. I noted in the staff report that the Will County Land Resource Management Plan designates the area as rural, and it doesn't encourage rural or industrial development in rural areas. I know there is some language that talks about if you're going to do it, it should be along arterial roads, which I can't really disagree with, but there is also the statement that it's discouraged in those rural areas. And really, I understand that the county has its own process, and you guys are going to do what you're going to do, and the Village of Frankfort is allowed to participate as part of the state statute requirements for the mile and a half review, so I completely understand that. We're simply just asking that we have the ability to complete our review before the county proceeds. It's one of a precedent-setting concern. Not suggesting that this was the intention here, but we didn't receive application from the applicant for our mile and a half review process until December 21st. We believe that we've acted in good faith to bring it through our process as quickly as possible, getting it to Plan Commission on January 9th and our board on the 21st. We're just concerned that if this is the precedent and the county goes and approves this prior to the Village of Frankfort completing its review, Then future applicants or similar requests will say, hey, does the layout applying to the village of Frankfurt? Then you can avoid them having any influence or participation in your process with the county whatsoever. So,
Does anybody else? Yeah. Quick, and I'll let him go down from the agenda.
Just a couple things to clarify what we had stated, and I don't know, that's what staff had stated, was the existing comprehensive plan of Frankfurt noted the existing use as industrial, not the plan called, I didn't say that. But as far as the zoning for farmland, the A1, it's specifically why we sought the I1 zoning just on the improved 11.95 acres. It's part of a larger 55-acre parcel that will be left with simply A1 without even the existing special use. So all of that, which is unimproved existing farmland, would be preserved under our proposal.
All right, Jim?
Yeah, I'm going to, I would like to see the tabling motion approved, but maybe for a little different reason. I think this does give everyone a chance to sit back, including the applicant, and looking in, and our staff, it does say this is a rural area, it doesn't say it's industrial. And whether this board in this county wants to start designating this area in general as an industrial area. I know we've done a couple industrial zonings there, like heavy equipment sales and so forth. We have no development plan on this parcel. You could say it was there, but there could be a bigger use for that parcel. The parcel has not been created, a legal description and a lot has not been created as of yet. I'd like to see that done, actually.
Legal is, Jim, created.
Microphone,
Sorry.
thank you.
The legal plan has been created, it's attached to the application. As far as us filing petition for division, we're obviously waiting for this to file that across the hall, but that legal exists, we had those separate surveys created.
But you can do that first, too, Ken.
I can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I personally would feel more comfortable if the lot was created already.
We can certainly file that petition for
Yeah,
division.
and this is the recorder of deeds.
All right,
Supervisor.
Okay. But going on, I'm not so sure this is an industrial area. When we look at what we have developed as industrial parcels, and to use industrial development in this county, and certainly we have no lack of industrial zoning in this county, whether it's in the county or whether it's in municipal boundaries, we have quite a bit of industrial. On the other hand, it's not unusual for a corridor like Route 45, State Highway, or some type of heavier use or commercial use along that roadway, even though this is not a very improved part of Route 45, which is another thing. Generally, you're doing some improvements on the road, whether it's turning lanes or deceleration lanes or whatever, even though it may not be required today, it causes a problem further down the line if you continue that industrial type of zoning. I don't think it's an industrial area. I don't think it's agricultural either along Route 45. I do think that there could be some accommodation here, and that's what I'd like to see during that waiting period, to see if there is another zoning, C2. Years ago we had, I think it was C5. Snorris Brothers Landscaping was like C5, which is still it, as a matter of fact. I still think we have the zoning anymore. That did allow heavier uses, but still was fairly compatible with residential areas. But was a heavier use than, say, a C2. I do think our C2, as an example, with the special uses, has pretty extensive uses. When you look at the development of 45, I consider this a little spotty. But when you look what's coming out of the village of Frankfurt, along 45 going west, and including what we've zoned going west, it's basically been C2. So I see it more as like a C2 corridor. And you look at the special uses that may be allowed, maybe they would be a good compromise. both the applicant and the village. Maybe it's, C3 or whatever. But you have to look at all the special uses that would be allowed under C2. So I do think this gives an opportunity to the county, the applicant, to the village, to say, what is this going to be? We don't do it industrial, and I don't think it's redeveloped going forward as industrial, but I do see it as a commercial use, 45. It gives everybody I just want to give everybody a chance to sit down, so I would ask if we table it, that the applicant, Frankfurt, the staff, and maybe a county board member, and maybe Amanda, maybe Amanda.
Big volunteer.
Shouldn't have enough to.
Can maybe sit down at a meeting, and maybe there is a really good compromise here, and a good land plan development perspective, doing it the right way.
All right, thanks, Jim. So currently, Steve made a motion to approve, so before any other motions are made, I need a second on that.
What is the motion to?
To approve the map amendment.
Said she was gonna vote.
Well, you can't table something that's not on the floor, so I need a second to put it on the floor. So somebody second Steve's motion, please.
I'll second.
All right. Are there any other motions that anybody wants to make?
I would like to make a motion to table.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion to the table and a second. If we could have the roll call, please.
Tyler Markham,
Yes.
Just for the table?
Yes.
Mark Ferry,
Yes.
Steve Balich,
No.
Amanda Cook,
Yes.
Jacqueline Trinier,
Yes.
Rachel Ventura,
Yes.
and Tom Weigel.
Yes.
All right, so that motion carries. That is tabled. It'll come back next month.